Adams the offensive rebound. George this time. The straightaway. George off the screen.
He handles the ball so much. All right. The big thing is that it puts a lot of pressure on him.
Losing the handle. All day to fire away for Paul.
Attempt. And then B, you do not want to foul a guy behind the three-point.
Attacking the offensive glass each and every time down the floor.
End up being the defensive player of the year. He has been terrific.
And to the finals, then I think he stays. But if they get a first round exit, it should be their first quarters.
And another steal and deflection by Paul George.
Yeah, almost definitely in that conversation.
Buck Williams.
Of those two moving forward. Paul George gets up the
Oklahoma City that win they had against Golden State. But now the hard work really starts for Magic Johnson as Paul George.
Hard. Rookie out of Villanova. Former first-team All-American. Paul George for three. George with a hard step in. Into a double team. Martin doing a nice job of staying with George. Who sets him on fire. Adams with the screen. George for three. Back!
Around Paul George, but he doesn't. He lines up another three.
Here comes the Thunder running again. George set.
And then a fadeaway jumper.
George outside
Defense.
George for three. Bang! George will tee it up and he'll.
His great passing skills.
George for three. Bang! George at the three-point line.
With 30, and we're not done with the first quarter. Step back three, Paul George.
Danger
Paul George. Yes, it is. Paul George steps into a wide open three. I mean, Oklahoma City shooting 60%, and Paul George is going to get another open three. Paul George made enough.
Get veterans, but you also get a nice injection of youth on that.
There's the man you were talking about.
To plug several different guys into that spot.
The rubber numbers. There's George.
Back out to George. George still looking for that first field goal. Fires away.
And finally, on the drive and kick, George from the corner scores.
Shots get to the rim.
George for three. Bang!
Picks him up. JJ just came into the game. There's Terrence Ferguson who subbed in a moment ago. Paul George to answer.
But it brings back camaraderie, but we all are competitors. And
Club, Mr. Booker, proud to own the three-point zone. Fulton Holmes off the Adams screen for three.
They're going to keep switching out until they find the matchup they want. You know, through my guy Lou Will.
Both ends in transition. George measuring. George.
Suns 10 of 11 from the line tonight. Paul George out of 12 from three.
George the straightaway. Shooting 2 of 9 here in the fourth quarter. Nick Gallo with more.
Westbrook kicks it out to George. George connects.
Temple rubbed out by Adams. Home to road. He's got the sharpest drop-off in three-point shooting in the league. Left too much room by Brewer. Knocks down a triple. That's a deep three for George.
1 for 9 in the first half.
George separates from
Pass that went off the hand of Dedmon. Paul George takes it and drills KC in December. George on the wing. Three-pointer. Good. And
here's Brewer. George right down Main Street. He checked at the three-point line by Harris. George has a decent
Opportunity for him, especially going into the playoff, to be the main guy. He meant to do that one right there.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Maybe slipped.
Almost a steal by Tatum and provided a nice dose of consistency offensively here tonight. George with the triple.
Works deep in the bowels of this building as a film editor for one speed. The other way, George three.
Number 2 in efficiency and number 1 in points allowed.
George three. Got it!
The New York Knicks as they decided that Jamal Murray was their guy for the team.
Doing anything. 2 for 9 offensively for the Pels as Paul George gets double figures. 2 gone. Paul. Adams stayed away. Set it up for Paul George.
Steven Adams in a familiar spot to Paul George. That's
A little bit of everything.
Could see some point guard stuff from Draymond. This extended possession. Better shot.
Paul George games and not really resting players as Paul George steps back that one per game.
George launches another three. How about that? That's when you're legendary. Chris Paul is backing up.
Thunder 4 out of 12 from 3. 28% overall. Open three. There's Westbrook back to Paul George. Third with a great wall of Whiteside.
And we could see the difference that he brings.
53%. Already at 40 points. Paul George. Basketball. They only had 51 of those games where they took 30 or more threes. Here's George. Then Brewer is stripped by Johnson outside. George. James. He's going to get this. He's going to get this. I'm going to call it right now.
And you know what's interesting? He's doing it in the run of play.
George. When the Thunder scored 73 points in the first half. Brewer measuring. Playing like a maestro. Especially as he has gotten comfortable as this quarter. It's a new career high for Russ. 20 rebounds. George.
Paul George at the score. Left wing three is up. Back not open. But Adams the retrieval. George has a clean look.
Vision. So clever.
George off balance. Doesn't matter. Brings Gobert out to greet him. Dancing. Got a clean look. And
strong point for the Jazz is get to that paint. Paul George left wide open.
That we talked about in the first half. Yeah. Paul George and Ingles going at one another. Oh!
Puts on the curling angle dribbling exhibition. And spots
on both ends of the floor.
George, three. That's three!
The rookie of the year.
I know it's a two-man race.
George fouled at the three-point line. George for three. George checked tightly by Ingles again. They had a spirited battle and at the three. Westbrook has 3 steals. George a wide open three.
George gets it back, chased by Ingles, takes the three.
Really haven't shot the ball from three-point land well. They're still at 31%.
Speaking of threes. 14 for Donovan. George trying to bring 14-13 Jazz.
That's saying you're a better team.
Paul George.
The Jazz with an 8-point lead. George trying to respond. George stepping back.